Okay, so this is in addition to the video that we were discussing the 4 agreements. And we had touched on that the 4 agreements is not something that I created. The 4 agreements is a book that was written by Don Miguel Ruiz. The last name is Ruiz. And you can Google this. There's actually, like I mentioned in the video prior, that there's the 5th agreement, there's the Mastery of Love. He's got a great a series of books that right now what I'm sharing with you is the 4 agreements, and we were talking about being impeccable of your word. My phone cut off on me, so I'm going to continue to use that video. I didn't get a chance to cut off and say goodbye on that one, but I'm going to continue. This will be a continuation of the 4 agreements. The second, so first agreement was being impeccable of your word. So there's power in your word. What you put out is what you manifest and get back. All right. The second agreement being don't take anything personal. A lot of times, let me give an example. We may walk into a situation where we don't know what's gone on in somebody's life prior to seeing them or talking to them on the phone. They may have had a really bad day, just been in a huge argument, and you call or stop by and they're super snappy or, something of that nature. And then we take it personal. And what did I do? They don't like me. And then the mind starts feeding all these negative things like, what did I do wrong? And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, have you ever walked into a room and all of a sudden it got quiet and then you thought, well, they were talking about me? No, guess what? You're not that relevant. You are very relevant, but not to the point that you should, think that everything is about you. So once you realize that, and you can really sit back and say that, not take things personal, even and up to the point that if something is upsetting you and you are taking it personal with a particular person or a thought, we all have a tendency to, call another friend and say, oh, can you believe that bitch, da 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 da, and then say what our opinions are, okay, and what we think is going on, and kind of find out that all that worry and all that stress of taking things personal, we find out it really had nothing to do with us at all. All right. So that bleeds into never assume. Okay. So that's the third agreement, is to never assume. If you think that you can read somebody's mind and you assume they don't like you, you assume that somebody's coming over without having, made arrangements. You assume that your best friend is having an affair with your husband, or you assume, I can keep going on with examples. You'll find 9 times out of 10 with that, that those assumptions become like a parasite in our brain, and then we start breaking things down and saying, thinking negative thoughts, because for some reason our mind takes us there to a negative aspect, and we have assumed all this. And then when it comes down to it, let's make an example of, let's say you think that your best friend is doing something behind your back. Instead of assuming that, instead of talking about this person with other people and your concerns with other people, the best way to handle things is, and this is my opinion and what I got from the book, is to go to the person directly that you have a problem with, because then you nip things in the bud, and you haven't sat and created all this negativity that simply didn't exist. And, you can go to the person and say, yesterday you said a few things that had me wondering and concerned, and I value our friendship, and to the point that, and it doesn't even have to be a friend. It could be whoever, a coworker, a partner, whatever. But you go straight to the person that you have a problem with. But sitting back, assuming to know what somebody else thinks is such a negative choice, because I promised you, if you go directly to the individual or directly to the source that is creating concern and doubt and worry in your mind, you can have that done and over with. And you could almost sit back, and it's kind of like, for me, when I started doing it, I was embarrassed because, I was really full of myself to assume that every situation somehow or another led back to me, So never assume. Always ask. The majority of the time, people will have no problem telling you, and you can always agree to disagree, right? So there is always a way through these type of situations. All right, and I'm going to wrap this up because I've got some things I've got to take care of today. But this was extremely important to me because we never really have, I think earlier on I went through and I broke down the 4 agreements, but I keep putting it out there as if you guys are well aware of it. Again, it is a book by Don Miguel Ruiz, Runz. And this is my opinion and my takeaway from that. The last agreement is to always do your best. And every day we feel a little bit different. We have good days, we have bad days, we, have days where maybe we woke up on the wrong side of the bed and we, or whatever the case is. We may be in the midst of a cold, not feeling so swift. So our best, I'm trying to get the best lighting and angle on this situation. So I really want you to know I'm talking directly to you. Okay, this is you and I having a conversation. So doing our best every day is going to be different. So you can't beat yourself up about if one day you're having success after success and everything is just running smoothly and everything is going, and you've accomplished so much, and then the next day you only get 2 or 3 things done. It's okay, because our best is going to be different every day. But just know before you lay your head down and rest for the evening, or that you have done your best for today or that day. Okay, so that is the 4 agreements. And then my takeaway from what I got from the book, and again, the book says and suggests that it takes 30 days to really flush out the negativity that we've brought towards our life by not being impeccable of our word. So you've got to really be in true practice of this, and you'll find when you're doing things, you're like, oh God, I'm assuming. Let me not do that. Let me watch what I'm saying and speaking into existence, because like energy attracts like energy, and you profess you're broke, you will be broke. Don't do that. You might be experiencing difficult times, or things may be a little bit different than you're used to, but you're going to have to put out there that there is something for you. Believe it like it's already yours. Something that I'm actually going to be doing within this week is I'm going to go and look at some vehicles and sit in the one that I want, so that I can speak that into my existence, feel the wheel, feel myself behind the wheel, and know that it's mine. And look at houses in the same respect. Just like I posted that video where I was with Mike and Mike. They are at Buzzy's, which is in Kennesaw, Georgia. And they're wonderful. Oh my God, the set list that these guys have is just phenomenal. And so they invited me out and invited me on stage. And when I released that the other day, that's my affirmation of I am going to be back on stage, period. Along with some of the other things that I'm going to be doing. I'm working with someone on a podcast. I'm working with YouTube on some things. So, you know, but you've got to also remember to do the work. You can't just sit back and go, I'm going to be a millionaire, and then lay around and, watching TV, to the point that you know how to recite and sing the jingles for every commercial. That should tell you you're probably not doing the work. So, and putting out stuff like, why does he have it and I don't have it? That's just bringing more negativity into your life. All right, I'm getting ready to wrap this video up. The stroke recovery videos I'm going to be posting. I do have a series on Instagram as well. So I would love if you guys would join me on Instagram as well. And I'm going to try to archive the stroke experience through a series on Instagram. I'm going to finish the job here on YouTube, but I am having difficulty with timelines and things like that right now. So it's coming in incorrectly. So you're getting the information just kind of sporadic and the timelines aren't exactly correct. It's kind of a little bit more cleaned up over on Instagram. So I do apologize for that. This is actually December, hold up, 27th. See, there's it's so weird to me how with this stroke, what I'm remembering, what I don't, and when I think I have something back, and then I'm having to still work on it. It's a daily thing. And I'm, like I said in the previous video, I have only left this house 3 times since the stroke, and one of the times I was accompanied by somebody that made sure that I was able to drive before, I went out. So, I did want to say that, you guys are fantastic. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. And each and every one of you have it within you to manifest anything that you want into your life. You do the work. Just try the 4 agreements. Look, I don't get anything. I don't get paid by Don Miguel Ruiz or whatever. I don't know the man. I just know the book. And I know that it's something that helped me tremendously in my life. So I wanted to share with you, so that you can try to use it in your life. I'm telling you, it's life-changing. It really is. But you're really going to have to work at it. And here's something else to remember, that, like, I don't know if any of you know how to drive a stick shift or a manual car. When you first started, you had to learn how to use the vehicle, how to change gears, and you could maybe even, if you with a motorcycle, learning how to to change gears. Well, eventually it becomes second nature. You don't even think about it, you just do it. That's the same thing with the 4 agreements. Once you have flushed everything out and you're really actively, effectively using the 4 agreements in your life, which means sometimes we have to take pause before we just knee-jerk react. Knee-jerk reacting is the worst thing to do, because every time I've ever done it, it's always been a negative decision or the wrong decision. So always take time and think through things that you're doing, so that you don't have to have that come back to you, simply because that is how it works, right? Okay, so thank you guys so much. Please like and subscribe. It is really important that you guys subscribe. It's I got a couple of emails from YouTube, and yesterday they informed me that there's actually 16,383 of us doing this together through Positive Living. So behind the scenes, it's a lot stronger than I realized. In fact, it was so humbling. I got teared up about it. And then within the last 8 hours, maybe 12 hours or so, that number has changed again. And it's now 118. I'm saying it wrong. 118,000 something. So it's over 100,000 of us that are going through Positive Living with each other. Okay? This isn't my baby. This is us. And so out of all of you guys that are diehards, please take a second to hit subscribe. It would mean a lot to me, and you know, you get back what you put out, right? All right. Make every day your blessed day ever. Bye.